I would like to move very quickly to Ali Arkady, who's a very well-known journalist, a photojournalist from Iraq. His story was covered in the international media. He took huge risks. He accompanied the Iraqi security forces during multiple operations, and he uncovered some really very disturbing and serious human rights violations. Uh, uh, Ali, would like to hear your take right now, because frankly, I can't ask you about the lockdown because your situation is really, seriously very disturbing and way beyond a discussion on lockdown because of COVID-19 and so forth. And listening, reading about your work made me think about the kind of things that Daniela was talking about, the kind of things that Efsane was talking about, but also the kind of things that I read happening in Kashmir, which I look forward to listening to Ms. Nilofer after you explain them. But Ali, the floor is yours. Please tell us about your story very quickly, and where does it stand, and can you go back to Iraq? What's going to happen, and what was the impact of your stories on forcing the Iraqi security forces to reform themselves?
Thank you very much for this opportunity to talk. The story is quite complicated. I don't know how I can explain from these small times, but I think we can start from the story directly. I start to do one positive stories about two soldiers when the operation in Fallujah is beginning, because I decide now to stay there from a month, not come back to home to see what's happening there. Most of the time I doing long-term project and deep project and go through stories. But in that time I feel I'd love to start to cover this war in a different way and doing like documentary and photo stories, long-term project through my agency, 7 Photos. And that time I discovered these people and I followed them obviously 9 months from Fallujah until another operation in Mosul. During that times, I covered them, I published some pictures about them, I get invitation from TEDx talk stage in Baghdad because I did like small Happy Baghdad projects and I showed them as a heroes. This is first beginning I see them. It was the forces, the special forces from ERD was between from intelligent branch. It was 2 guys, one of them Sunni and Shia. And I want to explain how they fighting ISIS, how they try to liberate these countries or these towns.
Ali, before you do that, let me ask you a question. Were you embedded with the Iraqi security forces? Like, were you accompanying them in their military operations?
I was the journalist. I was following my project, and I get permission for the leader to do a film documentary about them. And hello, you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please continue.
Yeah, and that time it was getting permission to follow these forces because I love the stories. And that time I contact my agency and they give me also permission to do the positive project about Iraq. But after, we can say the last month of the 9 month following, these stories between videos and high quality videos with the high quality photo, not just with the technically, it's just with the concept, with the following, every day following them. And I get stressed more, and in the end, we stopped in the Mosul from 1 month because the operation is stopped. We didn't go forward to take back some village. And that time it starts what's happening there. And I see who is really the soldiers and what they did in the front line. And first time they don't let me to record or to shoot pictures or video. But after that, I get permission to do that. and they told me you can cut everything. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Please continue.
Yeah. And in that time, I discover another side, another face of these soldiers. And the problem wasn't just with these special forces. It was most of the forces in Iraq. They do same. And this is what I hear. But when I speak about, this is what I record. Most of the time I speak about what I record during this project. It's really complicated to explain very well, but anyone they like, they can go back to
Yes,
the media to see the
let me
stories.
tell the people who are listening to you that if they go to Google and they put your name, Ali Arkady, Arkady, they will find pictures, very disturbing pictures of men who are in jails and in dungeons, hung from the roof and from the walls. The kind of photos that we've seen coming out of Iraq. My question to you is, what is your status right now? I mean, can you go back to Iraq, for example? And how were you allowed by the Iraqi security forces to take those pictures? Because you did not take those pictures secretly. You took them because they're really amazing pictures. They're very clear. It's not like you're hiding and you're taking a picture from a corner. You took pictures in the full room with everybody in there. How they allowed you to take pictures, and what's your status right now? Can you go back to Iraq?
No, obviously I couldn't go back to Iraq no more. That is the thing. Even the Iraqi, the minister of Iraq and Obadi in that time, they had a statement. They published a statement about my work. They said our soldiers, they did crime. Ali, he is right. What he does, especially in that time, what is published with Der Spiegel, and what is this good? But obviously, it's really dangerous. I couldn't go back home. But if you know, I am artist. I am my background. I am artist and I'm painter, drawing, and I have this good eyes to capture his work. And also, I am doing uh, like I'm doing video, photography, like long-term project, like photo story. I know how I work with that, and I know how I can go very deeply. But with this, I get permission to follow them. And the first time when they show me and they bring, I didn't ask about anything because we stuck 1 month in one village. And they just, I was in the home, I following them, and every day they bring some people, they charge him, and the first time they didn't allow it, and after that, I just took my cameras, and I say maybe they told me no or yes. Sometimes they say yes, sometimes no. It depends with the officers there, because I following one forces in that time, and after that three. And obviously also they ask me what we need to do again and again and again and again with this footage. And I said, this is for the documentary. And they make sure, they told me every time, they are ISIS. They are ISIS. They show them as ISIS, you know? I said, I don't know, but with the investigation, because I was also in the intelligence office sometime, some of them, they come in this house, they had investigate these people, the civilian. And through that, when I come back to the videos, when I see they are really innocent and they are just normal people, maybe the relative, maybe his brother, maybe, you know, they are part of the ISIS in that time or Daesh. But these people, when I record, they catch them just for took information. And that time they do these horrible things to them to have more information about their brother, the families, and this kind of investigation. And that time I was recording, but I didn't ask anything. And sometimes I had like big heart. Sometimes someone they shoot a gun through my head in the night because they don't know me, because I was just on the forces and I had that permission to following these forces, not more. And I had very horrible and risky moment during that time. And not just I got the pictures like that. but also they think what I document is just um, the same local TV what they did every day. This is the idea of them, but they didn't. They know I'm good journalist, but they didn't know I will show this in the reality in the what's
They didn't
happening, and I
know.
understand
Yeah,
it.
Ali, they didn't know that you will become a whistleblower. They didn't know that you will become a whistleblower. Okay, there are many questions also, Ali, here, and I have some questions for Efsane. I have questions for Daniela. So I'm coming to that. So Efsane and Daniela, please stay with us a little bit more. I'm going to conclude, and of course we have some more for Ali, and I'm going to conclude with Nilofer, the journalist from Kashmir. But before that, Ali, very quickly, if you can give me a brief answer, what was the impact of the pictures that you published in the international media showing Iraqi security forces committing human rights crimes? I saw some of those pictures. They're very disturbing. What was the impact? You gave one example, the former Prime Minister, Haider Abadi, he agreed and accepted that there are human rights violations committed by the security forces. So that's one good result of your work. Has there been any change on the ground? I know you're not there, but I'm sure you have friends and people and sources who are telling you. Has there been any change because of your work on the ground?
Obviously, in Iraq and even it was the first time of the Iraqi military during 100 years to have this kind of statement, which is this is very big achievement. It was just as a writing, and these criminal, they still alive, and they have a more, they are in a very high positions, and I see them, and this is in Geneva what I show, and I show also the new pictures, videos of them. But obviously, and to be honest, it will be this photos and this video, if I publish it, if I work in this, any journalist like 20 years ago or 30 years ago, the impact will be different. But now with the social media, with the Instagram, with the Facebook, if someone, they just with the finger, they go see one of my pictures, they read, maybe they have big effect, but another a few seconds, just he cross for another pictures. You know what I mean? It's people now, they cannot focus about one issue. The people, with the social media, couldn't be that effect now. But
Yeah.
for me, I know will be in the future. This is as a historically work, as I know most of the organization, human rights organization, and a lot of governor, they know they have this what I done, and now I know maybe they are sometimes be careful with who they try to deal in Iraq, and they name in the blacklist. They couldn't go out Iraq. That's one, and also I don't think they will. This military, they will have um, good opportunity to have a training again from Italian governor and United States. And because of, before what I record in 1 month, they had there's a lot of videos published in the social media and YouTube by Italian military. They training especially these forces before 1 month, and I don't think so. They know them by name, they know them by things, but this is for the future, not for now. The impact, I think, could take another 5, 6, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, I don't know. But my message also was to show one important things, because we know what ISIS they did. They published in that time when they kill people, when they hosting people, when they do a lot of they raping people, they selling women. You know, this all criminal work they publish in the YouTube and in the social media directly. But Iraqi forces under the victory name, they made horrible things for these regions, especially Sunni regions, for revenge. for special need, for sadistic. Sometimes these people, they don't have heart. They're coming really from bad situation in the streets. These soldiers not educate very well, and most of the soldiers, they have kind of a link with the another countries. You know that this this is very
Yes, very
complicated.
fascinating. Thank you, Ali Arkady. Please stay a little bit more. And our last 1 minute is to Ali Arkady. Ali, you have 1 minute if you'd like to say anything in the end before I close.
Do you have any question?
Oh, I don't have a question, but you listen to Sumaira, for example, from Islamabad. She was very positive, and Efsane is really saying that maybe the journalist should be doing more, and she will be doing more to cover this Azerbaijan-Armenia conflict. And since there's so much coverage of the Middle East, maybe the Caucasus now will also get some coverage. And I think that was the message of Daniela as well. I mean, she's basically saying, there's not much you can offer in 1 minute, but at least she's saying that there should be more coverage and more exposure of the situation. Maybe that would impact. You are out of your country and you're living somewhere else in exile, and there's you should be the most pessimistic among all of us, frankly, because we are all sitting in our own locations and we've been working on the ground. But I don't know for how many years now, you cannot go back to your country. So I don't know. I said so much on your behalf. Let's hear you.
I'm looking for everything in a positive way, even in the life, even with the friend, even with the things, even with that work when I does, I thinking in the positive way, because I know, like example, what I does is not about against anyone or against the soldiers. So no, just to change the brain. It was even when I work as a journalist, it wasn't most of the time as a journalist. I think sometimes I'm thinking to show this, the problem and find the solution and continue. That is crazy thing. And sometimes I feel I shocked one time when I faced a lot of media when I start to publish my work, because we can say half or more of half of them, they have a lot of agenda. They following them agenda. They have forces in Iraq. They supported the soldiers. They not publish a very famous place. And this has shocked me. And because I feel, wow, I'm looking very romantic way of my work to documenting things in the romantic way. Okay, go find the problem, find solution, continue, find solution, continue. But it was shocking for 1 year, and after that I come back and say, okay, this is what I'm proud about. This is what I like to do. And until now I start to continue because it's important. And last the thing about lockdown, no, I start to continue work in the lockdown very well. But the important things I did, I contact my friend around the world, between journalists, artists, normal people, and I just told them, send me one videos about one person. What coronavirus, how affecting you this situation, this pandemic, in one person. And after that, shoot for me videos for your daily life, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. And I collect a lot of footage around the world since 2 months when we was in the home. And I called Long List Time 2020. Long List Time 2020, it was a positive word for me because, yeah, we are in the long list time, which is fine. We need to be there to have something else in the future, to thinking more about that. And yeah, in a positive way, this is the solution for everything. For you survivor, you try to explain your idea for future, anything you have in a positive way. This is important. And you need to also to be optimistic about everything and what you have. Thank you. I know.
Let's close on that note, Ali. Thank you very much, and thank you to all of you. I'd like to thank Niloufar, who has the weakest internet signal among all of us in Kashmir, but she joined us. So Nilofer, thank you very much to you, and Daniela for amazing insight into what the situation is like right now in Bethlehem and around that area. And Efsane El-Asgharli for the update from Azerbaijan. Thank you. And Ali Arkady and Shahid Al-Matrouk, Kuwait and Iraq. Thank you to both of you. And the video, we will share the video for the talk that each of you gave will be as one unit and separately uploaded to the social media within the next 24 hours. And we will share the links with you, and as well as the media coverage. I would like to thank many people who have joined us in our live stream on Facebook. I'm very sorry, I have about 24 questions right now, but we are 30 minutes above and beyond our time of 60 minutes. And if we go and take the questions, we'll have to sit here for another 1 hour. But we will have another sitting. Ali, I'm so great. Take care of yourself. We will have another sitting, and the same for Efsane and Nilofer and Daniela and Shahid. Thank you, all of you. See you next time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.